They say the night before your wedding is the most emotional one of your life. For me, it was the night I stopped believing in love and started believing in revenge. My name is Sam. I was 29, madly in love with my fiancée, Rachel. We'd been together for 4 years. She was warm, brilliant, and made me feel like I was the only man on earth. Our wedding was set for a Saturday in early June, my favorite month, my late mother's favorite flowers, and my father's proudest smile as he agreed to walk Rachel down the aisle, since her own father had passed away years before. Funny how betrayal doesn't whisper, it screams. That Friday night, I couldn't sleep. Something felt off. Rachel had been distant for weeks, blaming stress, last-minute prep, and nerves. But I trusted her. At least I did until I walked past the guest room in my father's house and heard a sound I'll never forget. Laughter. Rachel's and my father's. The door wasn't fully closed. Call it fate or punishment. I saw what no son should see, her hands on him, his lips on hers. My breath stopped. The world tilted. My fiancé, my father, in my house, on the eve of our wedding. I didn't make a sound. I just walked away, like a ghost. I didn't confront them. Not yet. Something in me snapped, but it didn't shatter. It sharpened. I spent that sleepless night writing, planning, thinking of every vow, every speech, every moment the guests would expect, and how I would burn it all down. The ceremony was held in a garden beneath a white arch decorated with lilies, my mother's favorite. Rachel wore ivory. My father stood next to me, pretending to be proud. I stood before the crowd, heart pounding like a drum of war. When it was time for vows, I pulled out a folded piece of paper. Everyone assumed it was the vows I'd written weeks ago. It was not. I began. Rachel, I was going to tell you how much I loved you, how I couldn't wait to spend my life with you. But instead, I want to thank you. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Rachel smiled nervously. My father shifted uncomfortably. I continued. Thank you for reminding me that love isn't blind, but people can be. Thank you for teaching me that betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from those we trust the most, like a fiancé and a father. Now, silence. I turned to the crowd. Last night I saw them, together, in a room that wasn't theirs, doing what no father and future daughter-in-law should ever do. Gasps. A woman dropped her phone. My grandmother covered her mouth. Rachel's face drained of color. My father stepped forward, mumbling, Sam. I raised my hand. Number, you don't get to speak. Neither of you do. Then I looked straight at Rachel. You wanted a perfect wedding, so here it is. Everyone dressed up, music playing, tears flowing. Just not the kind you imagined. I turned to the officiant. We won't be needing your services anymore. And to the guests I said, please enjoy the reception. It's been paid for. There's wine, food, and a lot to talk about. I walked out to applause. Some from friends who suspected. Some from relatives who admired the courage. Some who didn't know what to think. Only that they'd witnessed a wedding no one would ever forget. Rachel fled the country within a month. My father resigned from his law firm in disgrace. We haven't spoken since, but I've spoken to myself, over and over, reminding myself of this. Betrayal doesn't break you. It reveals who you are when everything else falls apart. And I didn't fall. I stood.